you've gotten punched in the mouth the last several games of the season. It's time to recruit. Mentally, physically, everything. Whatever they got to do to be light on, get some of that weight off their shoulders again, they can do it. Damn, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Run It Back here on KCSN. I'm your host, Jazsmin Halliburton. 3 straight weeks, 3 straight shows that we get to start off talking about a K-State loss. Ain't it grand? Ain't it grand? Hell, man. It's been tragic. It's been tragic. The most recent one I'm talking about, literally within the last hour, K-State loses a tough one. A real tough one to West Virginia. It was the 4 seed. K-State the 5 seed. I mean, now this wasn't a belt-to-ass game situation like it was the last time we played West Virginia. We was getting embarrassed. Nah, this wasn't necessarily the case this time around. No, it was real close. 4-point loss, 69-73. I mean, they tried. They really did. They tried. It just came down to the final 2 minutes. The execution in the final 2 minutes is really what let them down. They still had chances to win in those final 2 minutes, of course. But the execution is what let them down. It was, I think I might have had under, you were up, I think we were able to take the lead. Final 2 minutes down, up 2. Then you get West Virginia and 1 on the other end. Ties it up. She misses the extra basket at the line. Get the rebound. Cool. Had a little kerfuffle. All right, timeout, whatever. You get the ball, you get inbounds. It turns into a jump ball. Thank God K-State has possession at that time. Okay, cool. You get another opportunity. Take sideline. And this is the play that Coach Mitty cooked up. You had, I think, Serena taking it out of bounds. Tried to cross-court it into Kennedy Taylor, who was hot in this game. 9 for 9, 21 points in this game. She was cooking. She was dealing. West Virginia didn't have an answer for her. All props and glory to her in this game. She did an excellent job. But tried to get it to her deep in the post for her to make something happen with it because she had the hot hand. And I get that, but from sideline, from the scorer's table, all the way to the far right post where Kennedy Taylor is, I mean, if it was against just about any other team that's not West Virginia or, for this case, Baylor, because they're fairly similar, this was the wrong team. That was the wrong team to do this with. They're too fast. J.J. Quinley left Tamir Poindexter to undercut the pass, and that turned into a turnover, and then they had to force to get the jump ball, and it was West Virginia possession. That was... I mean, I understand you wanted to bypass their pressure because that's what got you in the situation in the first place for the jump ball. The first opportunity that you had to take it out of bounds, right, at sideline. But the fastest player on the court is J.J. Quinterly. Every single time, she finished this game 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, cooking like she did the last time. She played K-State. She leads the Big 12 in steals. She's not. They, as collectively as a team, they're not the right ones for that specific play. Now, damn, if it would have worked, I wouldn't have said anything. That's how any of this goes. If it would have worked, bing, bang, boom, cool. Didn't work. Now, get the ball in the other end. Who is it? J.J. Quinterly. She takes it to Terrence Sides on a switch. You put a little chicken wing out. We've seen that called an offensive foul several freaking times this season. But I know if it was us, we wouldn't have want that whistle called, especially that deep into the game. Under a minute left. She sinks that. Okay. Okay. K-State down 2. Still plenty of time left. Timeout. I think we might have advanced the ball at that point in time. But okay. But something shaked out. The next play call was good. Swing the ball to the right. West Virginia, someone did not stick with their assignment. Tamira Poindexter, she was probably the most open she has ever been this entire game. Probably this entire season for the most part. If you really want to put things side by side, she's never been more open. Tamira Poindexter shooting well over 40% from the field from the 3-point line. Wide open shot. K-State down 2. Went off the front rim. Rebound West Virginia. I mean, despite the execution from 2 previous plays from the out of bounds, K-State had a chance. It would have still been plenty of time for West Virginia. Maybe they could have made something happen, but I don't know. You have to put pressure on them. But that's how conference play ends. It ends with that. It ends with K-State losing 4 out of the last 6 games. I'll let that ring around for a minute. K-State losing 4 of their last 6 games. Their only wins coming from UCF and KU. Got busted by West Virginia. Get busted by Baylor. Busted by Iowa State. And now you play West Virginia again. Been great lick back. Wasn't able to get the win in this one either. Now, I talked about in the last show that some things had to change for them to get back right. Because good teams, they catch on to what you've been able to do now that Yoki's not in the lineup anymore. K-State's done a really good job for the majority of her absence, right? But something else got to happen. Now, Yoki's supposed to be back for the NCAA tournament, for March Madness. She's supposed to be back. We've seen this play before. We've seen this exact same production before. Carbon copy of last season. Completely the same. I can't say you underperform in the regular season because they've done a good job last season too, this season as well. But start great, end bad. That was the recipe. Yoki goes down. Yoki goes down again. You go into the Big 12 tournament, get a win, get a couple wins. You lose where you need to win. You have 2 seasons of the best team that you've probably had, maybe ever had in K-State history. And who's really going to know about it? 10 years from now, who's going to really know about it? Because there wouldn't be nothing to show for it. Now it's devastating. Team picked to finish number 1 in the conference ends up finishing 5th. A team who still has another chance to win Big 12 tournament. Had a good chance to do so, but it wasn't in the cards. It's tragic. It's tragic, man. It really is. There's no good way to put it. If you've been following this team, they deserve so much more. They deserve so much more. So much more. And it seems like sometimes you really just can't do anything about it. I mean, of course, all these players, even fans, are gonna be, oh, if I would have just made this shot, or if this player would have just made this shot, or if this player would have gotten that rebound, or if they would have just gotten this rebound. What? You can do this all day with every single game. You can do it all day, but at the end of the day, this is the result that we got. It's the result that we got. And I mean, I can say it's disappointing. It is, but now we're in round 3. Round 3 of the season, NCAA tournament. Now, the only way we can get a trophy at this one is if we go to the Final Four. Look, man, it'd be great. It would be great if we did, even with Yoki coming back. But considering how this season is the exact same as last one, I hope we get past the second round because that has not happened. That has not happened. I know for sure recent. I can't say within K-State history, but last time, if it has happened, it's been a very long time. But I've seen the goal is to get past the second round. But when you have a team constructed the way it is, you got to have more. You got to have bigger goals than that. And they have the season to win a Big 12 championship. But now that didn't happen, the goal got to get a little larger. The goal's got to get a little bit larger. And I know we'll talk a little bit more on that for the first the second half of the show here, as I talk to y'all about the disappointments. But we're gonna go over some numbers. We're gonna go over some possibilities of maybe K-State being able to still host as we look at the net ranking. That's all coming up after this very short break. But of course, first and foremost, we got to give a shout out to homefieldapparel.com. You know what it is. They got everything that you might possibly need, especially a little something for NCAA women's basketball, because you know everything about them is on the up and up from no matter what school. Go ahead and give them a little check, see, and go to K-State, or actually you get your K-State apparel there as well. Go to homefieldapparel.com and we'll be right back on Run It Back.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story. Like Bryan Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Bryan Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner impossible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. Talked about, of course, the disappointments of this season, or the expectations of the season, and how so far it's ended. But I know the season's not done. The season's not done. They got quite some time to really, really, truly be able to figure something out. Really, really, really do. Because you have Selection Sunday. That's coming up. I think that's next Sunday, March 16th. And then bada bing, bada boom, just like that, March Madness. And what's one thing we love about March Madness? It's mad. Nobody's safe. That's even more so in the, obviously it's more so in the men's game, but the women's game, starting to, the other team starting to catch up a little bit. It's not going to be always the top 4 seeds that are going to be in the Final Four fully anymore, right? Things are more so on the up and up, right? And now K-State being able to host has really, that's what has been in jeopardy in, let's say, the last week and a half of their season. Because like I mentioned before, K-State has lost 4 of their last 6 games. Majority of, I think 3 of them coming from a quad 1 loss, right? So, and today, K-State really needed that win against West Virginia. Like I said, reading off the stats real quick, they did a lot right. 53% from the field. West Virginia shot 50%. They shot 44% from 3. They had 8 threes in this game. Last game against West Virginia, they were 2 for 15. It was bad. It was bad. They were able to sink 8 threes in this one, 5 of which came in the first quarter. West Virginia was shooting 36% from 3. The free throws is the main thing to circle here. K-State was 70%, 7 of 10. West Virginia got a butt ton of free throws. Don't even get me started on this damn officiating of this game. 16 for 21. Okay. Matched in rebounds. Got out-rebounded offensively by 2. K-State had 19 assists. All right. 15 turnovers. West Virginia had 15 turnovers. Then West Virginia, despite the horrible officiating that we have seen all season long, West Virginia had, 5 more fouls than K-State did, 14-19. It just came down to execution late in the game, like I mentioned before. But this was a game that K-State really needed in order to really secure being able to host for the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Pivotal. Because you know how K-State fans show out. And the support that's going to be needed, some extra uplift, knowing how this season has ended so far. They need some help. They need some assistance. And I know the biggest form of help of them all is going to be Ayoka Lee when she comes back. They even showed her, I think, in the broadcast of this game against West Virginia, her practicing a little bit, posting up a little bit, right? So she's close. Got a little over a week until you play again. And then things get going. I'm looking at projections for the NCAA tournament. Now, this was before K-State lost today. But they have us hosting. They have us in Region 4 bracket with us at 4, the 4 seed, going up against UTSA, and then Maryland, the 5 seed, Grand Canyon, 2nd seed, right? I mean, I don't know. Fate, it's no longer controlled by K-State. We figured that out in this losing streak, in this little last few games that we have watched. And now for sure at this point, they're not in control of their own fate. They weren't in control of their own fate for winning the Big 12. They're not in control of their fate is whether or not they will host. Now, let's not be ungrateful. They're wanting to go to the tournament. Doesn't matter how it goes. They're going to the NCAA tournament, right? They're given an opportunity to make some noise, get past the second round. Let's get that first and foremost clear. But now you got Yoki into the lineup. Where I'm nervous is because, like I mentioned before, that this is a carbon copy of last season. You get Yoki back mid-season or late in the season, and things didn't just magically get fixed. We all thought so. I thought so. Fans thought so. Maybe the team had thought so as well. When soon as you get this giant piece of the puzzle back in with everybody else, things would go nice, smooth, and dandy. That didn't happen last season. It did not happen at all. Now, who knows? You're no longer going to play any Big 12 teams, assuming, essentially, if something weird happens and you go really deep in the tournament and another Big 12 team does, you're not going to. So you're going to go up against teams that you don't know and that they don't know you. They've never played you before, especially in this bracket that I'm looking at. Never played you before, at least anything recently. They don't know how to play Yoki. They don't know how to play these guards when Yoki is on the floor with them. That can help. It really can, especially if God willing, she stays healthy through this as well. And the opportunity is still there, but now you just don't know where it's going to be. Will it be in Manhattan? Don't know. Will it be anywhere else? Also don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, this can't even matter anymore because you're not going to be at home forever, right? You're going to start traveling a little bit more once you make it past the second round. They just got to be able to lock in. They need an extra energy boost. They need extra something, and you hope that Yoki will provide that for them, a little more extra confidence boost. Anything that can be helpful right now, because the teams that we played are good teams. Figured it out. They figured it out. And the one thing that's also may hold us back, or at least may help us, is that we are still very favored in the net ranking. Right now, we're ranked number 9 in net. We've been top 10 all season long. Only problem is just the quad 1 wins, where within the top 10, we have the second worst record for quad 1 wins with two wins, 5 losses. The first worst is, surprisingly enough, West Virginia, who is 1-4 in quad 1. So that's the only thing that's holding on for us right now, is being able to host. Just gotta wait. Next Sunday. It's a long time to wait. It's a long time to see what happens. It really is. We're all gonna be sitting on our hands. I know for sure the player are gonna be sitting on just waiting to see exactly where they're gonna go. But we just gotta wait and see, man. This long pause, I hope, will be very helpful, not only in the health of the Ayoka coming back, but just with all the other players getting the opportunity to step foot on the floor. It's been a long season. You've gotten punched in the mouth the last several games of the season. It's time to recruit. Mentally, physically, everything. Whatever they got to do to be light on, get some of that weight off their shoulders again, they can do it. Got a long break. And it's March Madness. You never know. You never know what's going to happen in March Madness. Maybe this is the team that makes the run. Maybe this is the team. Hell, why not? Gives K-State its first national championship. It's March. That's what we're going to hope for. And sometimes the most unlikely teams can surprise you. This last quarter of the season, yeah, it looks unlikely. But that's kind of the beauty of it, isn't it? That this month, anything can happen. And why not? Let's see if they can go ahead and continue to play into April. But we'll see. We all got to see, right? But with that, I will say goodbye. And I will see y'all after Selection Sunday. Break down whoever they match up against. See where they land. And let the chips fall where they may. I'll see y'all right back on Running Back in due time.